Vultures 2 by Kanye West and Dolla is officially out on all streaming platforms, so let's talk about it. Kanye's latest albums just aren't as methodical or precise as they used to be, which is why he has one of the best discographies in the history of music. These more recent ones are a lot more playlist-styled compilation albums. So personally, I think when you listen to Vultures 2 with that mindset, it provides a much more realistic expectation. My main gripe with this release is the mixing, because it doesn't sound finished on like half of the album, which part of me is like, if Vultures 2 was delayed for so long, why did we get it and it's still unfinished? Like, either just keep delaying it and then give it to us when it's done, or... But Kanye does have a history of making updates to his albums on streaming services after release. And sure enough, this was uploaded to the Yeezy.com website. Updated songs will be published in real time. But besides that, with any other Kanye album, even in this era, it is nicely produced. Dolla does his thing too, but I feel like he's not as featured as he was on Vultures 1. There are some solid features on the album as well. The highs on Vulture 2 aren't as high as on Vultures 1, like Carnival, Back to Me. But I will say that Vultures 2 is a much more consistent release. There's still misses though. But the majority of the album is pretty good, in my opinion. Slide is a great way to start the album. It has these huge booming synths. It feels really grand. It's like an arriving to the scene moment, like you are in for the Vultures 2 listening experience. Let's go. The next track on the album, Time Moving Slow, is also really good. The production is phenomenal. It's not mixed properly. This is the first moment on the album where you can tell that it's just not finished. But there is a ton of potential, and I'm hoping that this song gets fixed. And then you hear the popcorn line. Kanye gets more and more of these cheesy, corny lines that are honestly really bad. As he gets older, they've always been present throughout his discography, but like on College Dropout, they were charming, they were funny. Field Trip is great. It's got super interesting production, sounds a little bit more finished than the last track, with an awesome Cardi feature, some nice Don Toliver contributions as well. Even Kodak Black's verse is okay. For me, Friday's just corny, with bad songwriting. This is a regression to the forgettable songs on Vultures 1, where it's just not dynamic enough to have any staying power. I will say that it does sound slightly better on speakers though, so there's a chance that maybe if this one gets fixed, it could be better for me. I don't know. I love the production on Promotion, and I love Future, especially when he's working with Kanye. They are a great duo, and they would have made a better collab album than Future and Drake did, and that's just a fact. And then Husband is so bad that it should be a crime. The writing is so bad, Kanye's vocals are so subpar, it's like unlistenable. And then Lifestyle is like a continuation of Husband, but at least this one has a pretty solid Wayne verse. And then River is great. The Young Thug feature is probably the best feature on the album. It has some triumphant sounding production and then ends with a Leon Bridges sample. 530 is probably Kanye's best rapping performance on the album. And in contrast to Husband, the songwriting on this track is so good. Kanye's verse is great. It's super emotional. It's very personal. He talks about the struggles that have been going on in the last few years of his life with his family and with himself. And it's like, how did you write Husband and then you wrote 530 as well? And that is the listening experience of Vultures 2, and that is the experience of a Kanye West fan in 2024. It's like Whiplash. Some stuff is phenomenal and some stuff is like, how did you even do this? Dead features Future and also Lil Durk, and it's pretty good. Forever Rolling is super solid. The production is really spacey, which is exactly what highlights Dolla $ign's vocals the best. He really thrives on this track, and Lil Baby gives us probably the best Lil Baby verse of the last 3 years. Sky City mostly revolves around an acoustic guitar with kind of stream of consciousness lyricism. Kanye on the track mentions Tupac and his Thug Mansion, which seems to be the inspiration for this track. And then we finally got another 070 Shake outro. It just should have been longer. She sounds great. As always, I've added my favorite tracks off of the album to my New Music Friday playlist, which you can find the link to my Spotify in my bio. I update this playlist every single week with my favorite releases. That way you don't miss any of the good stuff. And for my Salt Lake City friends, if you're going to the Vultures listening party at the Delta Center next Friday, come say hi. Please let me know below in the comments, what did you think of Dolla and Kanye's newest album, Vultures 2? And of course, don't forget to follow me, Honeybee Reviews, for more music-related content.